prep football on Channel 12 as the Totino-Grace Eagles take on the Eden Prairie Eagles. From Jim Totino Field in Fridley at Totino-Grace High School, I'm John Jacobson along with Joe Moline for tonight's telecast. Joe, last year, Totino-Grace champions in Class 5A, Eden Prairie, two-time defending champions in Class 6A last year. Totino bumped up to 6A this year. They opt up a class, and now they take on the #1 team in the state.
Yeah, Totino-Grace is the classic school that goes against what a lot of people have complained about at the high school hockey and stuff, where they wanted these dominant Class A teams to step up and play 2A. Well, Totino-Grace did that without even being asked. They were dominant in 4A a few years ago when 4A was the norm for their class size. They went out, won a 5A title. What do? They bounce up to 6A now, and an ultimate challenge here tonight against the 6A champion.
Totino ranked number 5 in the state right now. Both of these teams 2-0 on the year. But Totino-Grace a little banged up. They've got a lot of guys that won't be in the lineup tonight. This is not a club you want to be shorthanded against.
Absolutely not. I mean, Eden Prairie, a lot of coaches around the state are talking about this being one of the top EP teams out there right now. You're talking about a two-time defending champ and multiple champions in the last decade. But you are undermanned, but it's not a playoff football game. So it's a nice game for Totino-Grace to get their feet wet in big-time 6A football as they get ready. And they'll be ready for the second half of football to play a team like Eden Prairie. But tonight they hope to hang in there tough and try to get the home win.
Let's look at our key players tonight, starting with Eden Prairie and senior running back Dan Fisher. He is a good one, always a great running attack for Eden Prairie, and Fisher, the feature back this season.
Yeah, Fisher has the luxury of running behind a big offensive line, but he's got good size too. He's got the carbon cutout of what you want a running back to look like in this Eden Prairie offense. 6'2", about 205 pounds, good size on him, and a good running style behind that big offensive line.
And for Totino-Grace, Kez Flomo has showed his strength in the running game through their first 2 wins.
Yeah, over 200 yards in his first 2 games, a lot you could ask for. He's going to try to do more, trying to bust out some big plays. Very tough defense to do it, but they're going to need him to break some big ones here tonight to give Totino-Grace a chance.
Eden Prairie and Totino-Grace should be a great one here tonight in Fridley. We'll take a break and come back and kick this one off in just a moment. You're watching high school football on Channel 12 Sports.
A Brooklyn Park church received some unwelcome visitors this past weekend.
Volunteers really do have their work cut out for them. They'll be inspecting 23,000 residential lots and city boulevards.
The problem began when the railroad decided to increase the train's speed. In the process, they had to raise a portion of the track over here.
Fire crews got a call around 4 Friday morning from a passerby alerting them to a deck fire.
This time, little lob for Winnicky, trying to go up and get it. Touchdown! A beautiful late summer evening in Fridley is Eden Prairie, #1 in Class 6A. It's on number 5, Totino-Grace. And a great prep football matchup on this Thursday night. Eden Prairie spent an hour and a half on the bus to get here, Joe. It was a lot of traffic to get from the South Metro up here to the Northeast Metro.
So it's almost like the feeling of driving down to Rochester to play one of those schools or something like that. But here they are just sitting in rush hour on a Thursday evening. So there's a lot of different components to what's facing Eden Prairie here tonight. But they're a championship caliber team that will be able to withstand, I believe.
Cody Getz set to kick off for Eden Prairie. They won the toss, they deferred. It's Totino-Grace that will receive, and the kickoff will bounce into the end zone, a touchback. It'll be first down and 10 from the 20-yard line for Totino-Grace. Wins for Totino-Grace at home in their opener against Coon Rapids, and then on the road, a very impressive win against the defending Lake Conference champion Edina Hornets last week. Joe, 28-7, Totino-Grace winning.
A big win for the Eagles as they went on the road, beat a good school in Edina, and did it a little bit undermanned.
So Sewell is the starting quarterback. Hands off on first down. Kez Flomo, the ball carrier, and brings it out 4 yards to the 24-yard line. Flomo on the season through 2 games, 33 carries, 268 yards rushing, an 8.1 yard average, and 1 touchdown.
Gain of 5, 2nd and 5.
And just what a big play there to get off the bat here for Totino-Grace to pick up 5 yards on first down, put yourself in a great situation. 2nd down and medium.
On 2nd down, big hole and out across the 30 to the 32. Pickup of close to 7 yards is Lance Bennick. Bennick, who is the 2nd leading rusher for Grace behind Flomo. A nice gain for him. They'll mark him down at the 31, a gain of 6 officially. 1st and 10.
Totino-Grace gets a great double team on the strong side of the ball there. A nice block down and then a kick out, opening up a huge hole to pick up that 1st down.
And throwing is Sewald, and overshot his receiver through the hands. And the ball that looked catchable, but perhaps a little bit high on the intended receiver to Max Walker.
Sewald has a very strong arm, but his accuracy has not been as good as you'd like this year. Completion percentage of 42.1. You see this one just a little bit off target behind his intended target. Throws that for a strike there, and they have another 5-yard pickup on 1st down.
On 2nd down and 10, the give is to Flomo. Spins away from a tackler and gets out to the 38-yard line. A pickup of 7.
Really good indicators early on for Totino-Grace. Watch the way the offensive line is handling the line of scrimmage against the Eagles. Good movement up the front there, and running back Flomo was able to get through an arm tackle of one of the defensive tackles for another big pickup, really making up for that incomplete pass on 1st down.
Third and 3. Totino from its 38-yard line. Handoff, and Bennick out across the 40 to the 42. He's got a 1st down. Gain of 4.
Look at this great lead block up there by the fullback, Kai Barber. Watch Kai Barber, 25, comes in, gets a great block there at impact, allowing the Totino-Grace Eagles to move the chains once again. 2nd 1st down of this drive.
5 plays, 2 1st downs for Totino-Grace. 2 minutes elapsed here in the 1st quarter. Bennick in motion, handoff to Flomo. Spins out past the 45 to the 47-yard line. Tackle on the play by Matt Cheeseman, senior linebacker, but another good 1st down run. Give him 6 yards. Flomo 3 carries so far for 18 yards.
What always impresses me so much about Totino-Grace is the angles in which Coach Ferguson sets up these offensive linemen to execute on their blocks. And you saw that right there, a bunch of block downs right there. They got some backside penetration, but the linebacker tried to chase it down there. Bill Coop couldn't catch up to the play. 1st down for the Eagles.
Sewell dropping back on 2nd down, completes it to Bennick in Eden Prairie territory, down to the Eden Prairie 38-yard line.
Not a perfect pass, but Bennick, a great athlete, makes the adjustment, makes the catch, and then after that hit from Martinka, still hangs on to the football. Great hands from one of the leaders of this football team, Bennick, coming up with that reception. Bennick can hurt you on the ground and through the air, and leading the team in receptions makes a big one there for TG.
Gain of 15, 1st down and 10. Totino-Grace, very impressive opening drive to start this game. Flomo slot to the left now. Bennick in motion, gets the carry, and this time Eden Prairie has him wrapped up. That's their best defensive effort so far. It's a loss of 2 back to the 40-yard line. Good pressure up front, able to break through that line and drop Bennick for a loss, Joe.
Bennick goes in motion to make him the deep back in the backfield, and that makes the defense really begin to focus on Bennick in that situation. That time they were able to win at the line of the scrimmage, get a lot of penetration, multiple Eden Prairie Eagles in the backfield there to make that stop. Nowhere for Bennick to go.
2nd and 12 from the 40. Sewell rolling out. Kai Barber, the reception, hands it at the 30, breaks a tackle there, and is down to the 24-yard line. First touch of the ball for Kai Barber. And another Grace first down, their 4th of this opening series, a pickup of 17.
Mentioned in the pregame a couple of players that just looked the part. Well, Kai Barber looks exactly what a fullback's supposed to look like. Makes a couple good blocks here on this early drive, but then shows that he can slip out of the backfield, catch the football, and handle it well. Shows nice soft hands, and then tucks that football away as he gets upfield for a first down.
From the 23-yard line, that's Flomo in motion. Barber, the ball carrier, spun down after a gain of just 1 down to the 22. Talk about looking the part, and Kai Barber has some football in his family. Tiki and Rondé Barber are his cousins.
That's some pretty good genes right there.
Jeff Ferguson, 12th year as head coach at Totino-Grace, and what success they've had with all the championships that they've won here under Coach Ferguson. 7 state titles. Ball blocked, deflected in the air on Sewell's attempt. Looked like it was Nate Becker, senior defensive tackle, that got an arm up there, and it's 3rd down and 9.
It's the first really 3rd down and long situation Totino-Grace has been in. They've been putting themselves in pretty good spots. The key to the successful drive has been big pickups on 1st and 2nd down, but here they are in a 3rd down and long situation. Good news for Totino-Grace, though, it's probably 4-down territory. They're going into the wind here. You're not going to probably kick the football from wherever they end up after this 3rd down play. So you want to treat this as a 2-play opportunity to pick up this first down. So you might want to cut this 9 yards into chunks on 2 plays.
And a lot of movement before the snap of the football. First penalty of the game.
Seemed like they were trying to get something going quickly with a quick cadence once they got to the line of scrimmage. Everybody might have been on the same page except for the center, who did not snap the football with that many players jumping. You got to figure there was some miscommunication on the snap count. Unfortunate penalty for the Eagles of Totino-Grace.
Makes it 3rd down and 14 now. The ball just outside the Eden Prairie 27-yard line. Barber, the back behind Sewell, will drop back, short drop, throw, ball's tipped and incomplete. Broken up by Bill Coop, junior linebacker, and it's 4th down.
Well, Coop, there's no play action fake here, so Coop doesn't really, there's no reason to bring him in. So he's reading pass right off the back. You see it right there in that picture. Beautiful angle right there. He got into his drop very quickly and then extended his arms and made a great athletic play. Coop takes away that slant opportunity. One-on-one coverage on the outside there. The linebacker was able to help with a good read. Not reading run at all on that play.
4th down and 14 to go for Totino-Grace. Sewell drops, steps inside the pressure, throws high and incomplete. Coverage by Gamiel Hall, the intended receiver, Ben Mazinga. And Eden Prairie takes over on downs after a lengthy opening drive, which lasted nearly 5 minutes to start the game. 4 first down for Totino-Grace's offense, but no points in Eden Prairie's offense on the field for the first time. And they will start 1st and 10 from their 27-yard line.
It's all about staying on schedule. Once the Eagles of Totino-Grace got off schedule, it became difficult against that EP defense.
First down to run is Dan Fisher, carrying outside the 30, and with good strength able to carry 3 Totino-Grace players an additional 3 yards. He gets out to the 33-yard line and gained him close to 7 yards on first down.
A big concern for Totino-Grace coming into this game is getting yellow jerseys to the ball carrier. It's going to take all 11 players on this defense to stop this dominant running game for Eden Prairie.
Ryan Connolly, senior quarterback and one of the captains for Eden Prairie, under center. Handoff is to Anderson. He's a dangerous running back, and he is out past the 45 to the 47. Anthony Anderson came into the game 19 carries, 187 yards, nearly 10 yards per carry through the first 2 games, and 1 touchdown, and that's a nice run there.
And he's a monster. At 235 pounds, you'd think that would mean you're maybe giving up something in the speed department, but you're absolutely not with Anderson. He's an incredible athlete and had a great game last year on Channel 12 as Eden Prairie took down Hopkins.
Gain of 14 out to the 47-yard line. Give to Fisher. Gets to midfield, and that's it. Wrapped up nicely from behind. Andy Canan, a senior defensive lineman, makes the stop. Gain of 3.
Andy Canan, 25-pound Barber on the tackle for the Eagles. 2nd and 7.
From midfield on 2nd down and 7. This is Anderson, left side, trying to pick a hole. 45-40, he's into the open. Anderson can't break the final tackle. He gets down to the 25-yard line before he's brought down on a pickup of 25 yards. He almost broke this one for 6.
Eden Prairie gets a great double team left side. The guard and the left tackle come down hard on the defensive tackle. That opens up a huge hole. And they get up to the linebacker tier, and Anderson beats a couple of Eagle defenders on his own as well. That's just a big-time carry from Anderson.
Brennan Swan saving a touchdown on that play with the tackle of Anderson. Officials timeout as the referee will come over and talk to Jeff Ferguson. As you look at Mike Grant, 22nd year as head coach at Eden Prairie, and you talk about the success Jeff Ferguson has had. Mike Grant has done even better, I guess you could say, although he's been at his school a longer time. He has really been a dominant coach and had a great program here for a number of years since the mid-90s. Took him only a year or two to really get things going after he had success up at Forest Lake High School. Came to Eden Prairie and has turned them into a state power year in and year out.
You're talking about two coaches that are on the Mount Rushmore of coaching in high school football in the state of Minnesota, no question.
1st and 10 from the 25 after the long Anderson run. Fisher bouncing it outside. This is Venable with his first carry tonight. And he's run down and dropped by Ben Mazinga for a gain of just 2. That is Charlie Venable, 5'7", 160-pound running back. With his first carry tonight, has 137 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns coming in.
And that's actually what Totino-Grace would prefer Eden Prairie to do, is try to run that sweep to the outside. That allows Totino-Grace's the athletes that they have in the secondary to come up and make some plays. There was still great blocking up front, but credit the Eagles of Totino-Grace's secondary coming up and making a good stop.
Connolly will hand off to Anderson. Cuts it back inside the 20-yard line to the 17. T.J. McDonald, the junior outside linebacker, in on the stop. Look at the run again.
Well, and watch the block from Fisher. Blows up the linebacker for Totino-Grace. You know, to be a running back for the Eagles, Eden Prairie, you have to not only be a good running back with the ball, but you have to be able to block. And Fisher blocked for his counterpart right there, Anderson, and created a nice little edge for him to run alongside with that huge block along the outside, creating this 3rd down and short now for Eden Prairie.
3rd and 3 to go. Just inside the left hash mark. The give is to Fisher up the middle. Gets to the 15, but he'll be shy, although not by much, from the first down. It'll be 4th down and looks to be less than a yard.
Stop by number 35, Andy Canan.
Andy Canan in on the stop for Totino-Grace. 4th down with 4:05 to go here in the opening quarter.
Brings up a 4th and 1 for the Eagles.
Great play by Canan. He got off his block early, made that tackle just near the line of scrimmage to impact, and see if he can dial it up one more time here on 4th down. He was able to beat his single blocker.
Split backs now behind Connolly. He'll hand off to Fisher, who's got a 1st down. The offensive line surging forward and picks up 3 yards. You know, we talked to Jeff Ferguson before the game, and he was a little concerned about his team's size up front on the defensive line, or lack of, with some juniors and seniors that aren't able to play tonight, and that big Eden Prairie offensive line able to get the push that time and get Fisher the room he needed to run.
They brought in some reinforcements now. Out came one of their sophomore young lineman. 6'1", 255-pound Sam Anderson just entered the game.
Anderson cutting back into the middle of the field, but not a lot there. Totino-Grace, nice stop by Barber, along with Josh Satars.
Watch 80, TJ McDonald. He comes in the backfield here and tries to help blow that play up too. See, he took the blocker out in the backfield. He takes Fisher out right off the bat there, and that really made that play. And it disrupted a little bit there as Anderson went off course, and that allowed Totino-Grace's defense to swarm in on the ball.
No gain, 2nd down and 10. Connolly a give to Venable, and the Eagles ready for him. Another no gain at the line of scrimmage for Eden Prairie's offense, and Venable is still down.
A lot of games up front there. Look at that late shift from Totino-Grace. They want to shift late because you want your offensive linemen to lock in on who they are blocking. And then with a late shift, you're hoping that kind of changes the scheme a little bit or confuses some of the offensive linemen. Hard to do because Eden Prairie's offensive lineman knows the rules better than anybody, but right there in that situation, they were able to shoot the gap. And you see an injured player on that play.
That's the running back, Venable. Jake Beckman was the first one that made contact, Joe, on that last play, but the rest of that Eagles interior defense closed in a hurry. Nice night for the students to come out. Not sweating like they were the first couple of weeks. It was 2 very warm Thursdays and or Fridays in the first couple of weeks of the prep football season. Nice cool evening tonight. Look at that play again defensively.
Oh boy, when that pile though, you know, it didn't look like anything early on, and then as the more and more Totino-Grace Eagles came in on the tackle, it looked like he might have got twisted up under that monstrous pile that was going on. And he looks to be in some pretty considerable pain right now, and never fun when you get injured early on in the season like this, but.
Canan was the defensive player on that last one that made the initial contact on Venable, who's going to be helped to the sidelines now.
He's really not putting too much weight on that foot, so I like it. A big 3rd down play here upcoming for the Eden Prairie Eagles. They have not faced, I mean, you know, you talk about the dominating nature in which they perform offensively. They have not faced 3rd down and long a lot this year as a starting offense. So you put them in this kind of situation, it's advantage defense. Eden Prairie likes to pass the football only when you're not expecting it. They're not the type of team, traditionally now, we're talking, that likes to, you know, really throw the ball around on 3rd down and long. It's more 1st down and 10 where you're not expecting it, where they throw the ball really successfully. But once again, a situation here where they're going to go out of the shotgun, but it could be 4 down territory.
Connolly just 8 passes attempted in the first 2 games. He's completed 4, 3 of them for touchdowns. A screen pass left to Fisher. Has it, heading to the end zone. Touchdown, Eden Prairie.
Just absolute genius call there. You come out in the shotgun, really spread the Eagles out. All the receivers were to the near side of the football field on the right side here. And then they screen back to the left side. So you line up, you spread that defense out, and then you play to your strengths anyways, which is blocking. And they set up that screen, let their big-time offensive lineman get downfield, creating a running room for Fisher, and he finds the end zone. Excellent execution on that play, and a great play dialing that one up.
His first reception of the season goes for 12 yards and a touchdown. Gets for the extra point. Kick is high, up and through, and with 2:12 remaining in the first quarter, it's 7-0 Eden Prairie.
When Eden Prairie passes the football, they pass it with the ultimate most efficiency. It's only 50% completion, but they score touchdowns. Here they are right there, setting up the screen perfectly. Look at Fisher finding the end zone. You didn't see any yellow jerseys out there because it was executed so nicely while bringing a lot of their receiving targets to the right side of the field. But then look at the blocking up the middle there. Fisher has a nice little hallway to the end zone. And for Eden Prairie, their 4th touchdown reception of the year on their 5 completions.
So as well as Totino-Grace moved the football in its opening drive, They eventually stalled out. Eden Prairie comes back and answers with an 11-play drive. First 10 plays on the ground, then 1 pass, and they've got 7 points.
You know, if you're Totino-Grace, so you're down 7-0, and only 2 minutes left in the opening quarter, but it hasn't been a dominating quarter by any means of what Eden Prairie sometimes does to their opponents. So if you're Totino-Grace, you're down 7-0, but you're really not feeling too down right now. You're feeling like, hey, we can get the ball. Let's go get this ball. Let's march on the field. Let's execute, not get any penalties. Let's not get off schedule, and we can tie this football game up.
Gets his first kickoff, was a touchback. This one will be fielded at the goal line. It is Mazinga up the middle, gets to the right sideline. Ben Mazinga in the clear. 99 yards, touchdown, Totino-Grace.
In all the Eden Prairie football games I've watched over the last 10 years, I don't think I've ever seen someone take a kickoff back for a touchdown against the Eden Prairie Eagles. A great job done by Totino-Grace. Excellent execution. Watch Mazinga follow his blockers. He has to make one little shift right there, but then it's just good blocking. And then Mazinga has the kind of speed that doesn't matter what kind of angles are taken. And Totino-Grace finds himself right back in this game.
Max Walker for the extra point. Up and through, and just like that, 16 seconds later, Totino-Grace has tied it up.
And that's just the great thing about Totino-Grace is they know how to find ways to get victory. You know, they know how to find ways to stay in football games, and you know, undermanned a little bit here tonight with some key position players out of this football game. You know, Eden Prairie rolls in, best team in the state, 2-time defending champion, biggest school, best school. Totino-Grace decides to play up 2 classes from where they need to according to their enrollment, and they are not intimidated, and they find a way to make it happen on special teams. A lot of football left right there, but there's some serious hope on the sidelines right now for Totino-Grace, especially after they move the ball on their first possession and the way they answer with the special teams after giving up a touchdown to the Eagles of Eden Prairie. This is going to be a fun one, John.
Well, that is the home crowd fired up. 7-7 game with a 1:56 to go in the first quarter.
Back to receive Jason Clay, number 5.
And Mazinga getting a little rest on the bench. And Walker with the kick. So be fielded by Jason Clay at the 10-yard line. It's the wide side down the left. There's a flag down. A big return by Clay across midfield into Totino territory to the 42. But I'm guessing this is coming back.
There is a flag on the play.
Return by Clay of 45 yards, but it's negated by a holding penalty.
The holding's going to come on the bottom side of the field. We don't really get a good look at it and couldn't zero in on who it was, but came early on the kickoff return. The flag was thrown early, and judging on how far it got marched back, it was thrown early as well, because now the Eden Prairie Eagles are well inside their own 10-yard line.
First down and 10 from their 8. I formation behind Connolly. He'll give to Fisher. Out across the 10, fights his way to the 14, a gain of 6.
And Fisher on the carry for the Eagles.
5th carry for Fisher.
We'll see if Totino-Grace tries anything differently here now, given the fact that they've seen one possession with Eden Prairie's offense, but also they have them a little bit deeper inside their own territory. They can maybe perhaps be a little bit more aggressive.
Conley throwing on 2nd down. Throw is low and incomplete. Intended for Clay, and it's 3rd and 4.
We saw Totino-Grace there that time, showing a little bit of blitz up front and then coming, and not just making it for show. Josh Sitar's walked all the way up to the line of scrimmage and came. That throw is just underthrown. Would have been a 1st down. Perhaps they would have completed that one. It looked like there was a pretty good cushion between the receiver and the defensive back on that play.
3rd down, 3 to go for Eden Prairie from their 14. Give is to Fisher. Out to the 16, and that's it.
A lot of movement up front again. We talked, Totino-Grace is going to play a lot of different games up front to try to equalize things, and that time they ran a little bit of a stunt. The inside defensive tackle, David Isaacson, 66, circled around his defensive end, and that put himself right in the path of the running back for Eden Prairie, and that's what created that stop. A nice timed stunt up front by the Totino-Grace Eagles defense.
4th down, Eden Prairie forced a punt, which does not happen real often. High kick, not very deep. Fair caught by Mazinga at the 42 of Eden Prairie. Kick of just 25 yards by the punter.
Totino-Grace has to be excited about this. Nice short field. Get the ball in Eden Prairie territory after a great 3-and-out defensive stop, after the penalty on the kickoff and a special teams return for a touchdown. Everything going in Totino-Grace's favor in just the last couple minutes.
1st down, the give is to Bennick. Inside the 40, breaks a tackle and lays a little forearm ahead and gets down to the 35-yard line, a gain of 7.
Good blocking up front from the offensive line, but a nice block too from Flomo on the cornerback. Watch Flomo, their number 4 there, drive his defender backwards. That gives him some more running room. And then a great stiff arm and a big impact hit there along the sidelines. Flexing his muscle a little bit, Lance Bennick.
Knocking down Johnny Heller. 2nd down and 3. Give us to Flomo. Bounces it outside, wrapped up back at the 39. Chased down by Richard Cochran, senior defensive end. Also 4. It'll be 3rd and 6.
When you're playing against a good defense, as a running back, you're used to trying to break the big plays a lot, but you have to change when you're playing against Eden Prairie. Stick that one in there. You can't afford to lose that couple of yards that you just lost.
Good first quarter of football after 12 minutes. In Fridley, our score, Eden Prairie 7, Totino-Grace 7. More prep football coming up on 12 Sports.
Osseo, Crystal, and Plymouth. Channel 12 is your local source.
Intercepted. This one looks like it could go for the touchdown.
Reed puts it away and Hopkins advances.
Hello and welcome to a new season of Sports Jam.
Channel 12, your local source.
Start of the second quarter, Eden Prairie 7, Totino-Grace 7. Mike Grant looking a little concerned on the sideline as his defense on the field. Eden Prairie trying to hold Grace on this 3rd down and 6. Barber, the ball carrier. He's inside the 40, now to the 39-yard line. Stevie Adams, 5'8", 245-pound defensive tackle, makes the stop, but Barber picks up 5. It'll be 4th and 1.
Good play call there. Draw play, opening it up, letting your offensive lineman kind of fan those defensive linemen outward, and with that 5-yard pickup, rather than punting the football on 4th down, because they're so close to that 1st down marker, Totino-Grace is going to try to see if they can't pick this up on 4th.
Flomo and Barber, those backs behind Silwald on 4th and short. Give to Flomo. He is wrapped up around the ankles, and he did not get it. Nate Becker and friends stopping Flomo for a loss of 1.
And look how nice and low Eden Prairie was to the line of scrimmage. A lot of penetration there in the backfield. They just won the battle all along the line there at impact. Flomo just couldn't get through, using all the strength he could muster, but Totino-Grace came out of that huddle on 4th down, and they weren't going to try to play around and get Eden Prairie to jump off sides. They went for it on an early, quick cadence to not catch Eden Prairie off guard.
Matt Cheeseman is the player that had him around the ankles. Anderson on 1st down and 10 for Eden Prairie. Spun down out at the 38-yard line, a gain of 2, maybe 3 yards for Anderson.
Stop by Michael Waters.
We'll give him 3. It'll be 2nd down and 7.
In terms of Eden Prairie's offensive line, this is not their biggest offensive line by any means. They're actually pretty small at the middle at the guard and center's positions, but they usually have pretty good athletes. But along the outside tackles, they do have some pretty good size. Robert Olson, 6'6", 260 on the left side. On the right side, they have Eric Dunn, 6'4", 275, but they're pretty thin up the middle there. And Totino-Grace right now is doing a good job holding their own in the last drive.
Conley on 2nd down, giving it to Dan. Fisher's got a seam on the right side into Totino-Grace territory and down to the Eagles' 45-yard line. Pickup of 17.
Watch Fisher get off tackle here, and then once he gets off tackle, he gets north and south in a hurry. Once that block is picked up along the outside and he not able to get him was Stars, and Stars couldn't reach him, and he was into the backfield with some pretty good speed.
Fourth first down of the game for Eden Prairie. 1st and 10 from the Grace 45. Connolly, quick throw and catch. It's Clay. Breaks a tackle, 45-35 down to the 33-yard line. And a pickup of 12. Tackle by T.J. McDonald along with Andy Canan. But another first down, the first one through the air tonight for Connolly and the Eagles.
Brennan Swan, the defensive back, 84 right there. He gave him about a 15-yard cushion. And then when he came upfield to try to close that gap, he just gets beat with a little bit of a juke move. Nice moves from Clay. The reason why that cushion is there is to help out with the run game, but Eden Prairie is going to make him pay.
1st and 10 from the 33-yard line. First carry for Mason Gilgore tonight, who's in place of the injured Venable.
Number 32, Mason Gilgore on the carry.
Gains 3. It'll be 2nd down and 7.
Tackle by number 25, Kai Barber. So gain of 3, 2nd and 7.
2nd down and 7 just inside the Grace 30-yard line. 9 minutes, 10 seconds to play 2nd quarter in a 7-7 game. Give us to Fisher up the middle. Gains 5 to the 24-yard line.
That's just kind of a quick inside play where they still pull the guard. You'll see Ethan Stordahl, 65, pulling around up there, and then up through the hole he goes. Fisher's job is to follow right behind him, and they do an excellent job of executing that one as well.
Gain of 6. It'll be 3rd down and less than a yard.
3rd and less than a yard.
Offensive line from Eden Prairie closed their splits down right now.
Give to Fisher. He's got a first down. Inside the 20, down to the 19.
Well, the offense take it really tight there. The linemen close their splits, made so there's no really gaps for the Totino-Grace Eagles defenders to be able to shoot through. And they win that battle by pushing back the Totino-Grace defense and allowing them to pick up that first down.
First and 10. Eden Prairie just inside the Grace 20. Connolly, quick throw. Completion again to Clay. Breaks one tackle, and that's it. This time gets down to the 16-yard line, close to the 15. Gain of nearly 4. Alex Halverson in on the stop for Grace.
Eden Prairie keeps on dialing up this play. They're going to make that cornerback not cheat and bring him closer. Going to make Totino-Grace eventually adjust to that play. Try to take that cornerback out of the running scheme. And actually, Totino-Grace already made their adjustment. They've switched who's going to cover that player. Now they're switching out. J.D. Spielman will split out.
Big hole for Fisher. He's inside the 10, down to the 7-yard line. It'll be a first down and goal for Eden Prairie.
What Eden Prairie does is continue to, they want to run to the right side there. They've thrown it left side a couple of times to get the ball back on that left hash mark, get upfield a little bit more, but they want to run off tackle right side, it seems, and they're doing it really successfully right now. And they're running behind the big body of Eric Dunn, the 6'4", 275 senior right tackle.
First and goal from the 8. Give us to Anderson. Lowers his head, gets inside the 5, down to the 3-yard line. Gain of 5 for Anderson.
Step on Ty Barber.
Totino-Grace in this situation here, you're just getting pushed back. You want to see if you can't get your helmet on the football, create some kind of turnover here, jarring that ball loose with a big hit. But right now they're just not able to get a big hit. It's just kind of running backs running behind their big pile. They're doing the unbalanced lineman. They're bringing their 2 biggest linemen, putting them on the right side. They're just running that way right now.
Second and goal from the 3. Give us to Fisher up the middle. Touchdown to Eden Prairie. Second tonight for Dan Fisher. 5th overall on the season for the senior. And it's 13-7. Eden Prairie's back on top.
A typical Eden Prairie drive right there. Totino-Grace not able to convert on 4th down, and then the Eagles offense from Eden Prairie, they get the football and they don't make any mistakes. They just rush right down the field. And a great offensive line, a couple of good running backs, and then throwing the ball to loosen up that defense.
That's extra point is blocked. Darius Rogers in there and blocked. And it stays 13-7. To Rogers, or was it Micah Waters? Let's look at the touchdown again as Fisher getting in there for the TD. Another look at the touchdown run by Fisher. And Rogers with the block.
Well, Totino-Grace is winning the special teams battle, that's for sure. They've put 7 points in the board. They've taken off a point after that second Dan Fisher touchdown. So Eden Prairie leading 13-7 right now, but you got to feel, some of those drives can be so deflating right now. But I almost feel like Eden Prairie is probably not as pleased as they would like to be with their 13-7 lead. Totino-Grace still kind of hanging in there, thinking, hey, we got half of the second quarter left here. It's time to put together a nice, long, sustained drive ourselves.
Walker, number 8, that was about to receive the kick for the Eagles. Cody gets the kickoff for Eden Prairie.
You got to think the Eden Prairie kicking team here was challenged on their sidelines, having given up that big touchdown.
And Eden Prairie short one player. Now they're going to get that 11th guy out there. Gets sent for his third kickoff of the first half. And it's a shorter kick this time. It's bobbled and then fallen on by the Eagles back at the 25-yard line. So that's where they'll start this drive.
Any command on a recovery for Totino-Grace.
6 minutes, 17 seconds to go in the first half.
You can see the adjustment right there. Eden Prairie was willing to kick it short near the 30-yard line, just not to get that ball to the deep back, and a lot of them to set anything out, set another big return up.
First down and 10. Give is to Flomo, breaks one tackle, but that's all he'll break, and he loses a yard back to the 24.
Early penetration there by Stevie Adams, the nose tackle for Eden Prairie, got in the backfield in a hurry there, disrupted that play. Wasn't able to complete the tackle, but he got plenty of help from the rest of his friends moments later, still resulting in a tackle for loss.
Second down and 9. Look at that defense for Eden Prairie.
Second and 11.
Fennick in motion. Flomo the inside handoff. And gets back to the original line of scrimmage before he's dropped. Maybe got a yard more. It'll be third down. Still close to 10 to go.
Johnny Heller does just a great job there, just taking his 2 steps forward, reading the play. We know when you're a middle linebacker like that, you're not actually watching the football when the quarterback snaps it. You're usually watching where the linemen are moving to, and he kind of just took his steps, read his reads, got right in the hole there, and was able to make a tackle after a short gain.
Third and 10 for Totino-Grace from their 25. Sewald the throw, fires a strike, it's intercepted. It is picked off by Matt Cheeseman. Cheeseman back to the end zone. Touchdown Eden Prairie.
Sewell's pass intercepted by number 7, Matt Cheeseman, for a touchdown for Eden Prairie.
Sewell just not as accurate as you'd like to be in the quarterback position. Of course, this is his first year as the starter for Totino-Grace, and you want to get some heat on that ball there, throwing it to the inside of the defense, and that one just went right into the gut of the opposition and back for a touchdown. Huge play by Eden Prairie, and Eden Prairie can do to their opponents. They can change things in a hurry, and because they failed to execute on the point after on their last touchdown, it looks like they're in a situation here to call timeout and talk it over and probably go for 2. There you see, it's just a simple 3-step drop. He's got his eyes all over his receiver. Well, it wasn't hard for Cheeseman to step in there, pick that one off, and then he housed it.
33 yards for Cheeseman.
One thing you'd like to do if you're the quarterback, even if you know you're going to throw the slant to your favorite target right there, if you could just look left one time before coming back to him, that would throw off the defense, especially the safety and the middle linebacker who was near that ball as well. They both were trying to read his eyes and brought him right to the football.
Now the senior linebacker with the touchdown return. Eden Prairie has traveled well tonight. Their fans, both parents and students up here.
Well, we've seen our defensive touchdown, our special teams touchdown. Pretty exciting start to this game so far.
Last time these teams played 2 years ago in the Class 5A semifinals of the Metrodome. Eden Prairie, one of their better teams, defeating Totino-Grace by a score of 49-7.
And that was one of Eden Prairie's better teams. And then last year, Totino-Grace thought they had one of their best teams that come through. So, they, you know, I hear the coaches talking before. It would have been fun to have their team last year play against the Eden Prairie team from the year before, kind of lining up these dynasty teams in the orders which coaches would like to match up.
So they go for 2 after the missed extra point. Conley faking, throwing, and they get the 2-point conversion. That's Johnny Lanasso, the junior tight end, with the catch. And it's 21-7.
So you see the fake pitch there. That brings the defense swinging one way. Your tight end gets to come off the line of scrimmage as if he's blocking. He releases from that block. That's going to leave him wide open. Just well executed. And a great play by the Eagles to pick up that 2-point conversion. Get the score back on track here, 21-7. Well, Totino-Grace, if they're going to have a chance here, you got to think an answer has to come on this possession because it simply can't be a 3-0. You're going to get the ball back to Eden Prairie, and Eden Prairie's offense is marching pretty good now. Totino-Grace to stay in this football game. It's going to require 7 points on this possession before half.
Cheeseman, 33-yard interception return, 2-point conversion. Ryan Connolly, Josh Lananza, and there we are at 21-7 now. With 4:45 to go before halftime. Gets set to kick off. I'm sure we'll see a similar strategy as last time, Joe. Kick it a little bit short, don't allow Mazinga to get the return that he had 2 kicks ago for a touchdown.
Yep, and then good thing for Totino-Grace though, they're two not the deep backs, but the second tier. Those are the pretty athletic running backs as well. So if it makes it to their level, they can do something with it as well. It's not going to make it to them.
Another short kick, and Totino-Grace has to get on top of it. The Eden Prairie headed downfield in a hurry, and it's better field position on this kickoff, though, for Totino-Grace. Last time they had it at the 25. This time they'll start at the 33. So now Sewald and this Grace offense will need to regroup after that impressive opening drive, the interception last drive, and Eden Prairie's defense shutting them down the prior series.
EP's defense has adjusted a little bit.
Pitch goes to Flomo, right side. At the 35, out to the 38. Good gain of 5 on that first down run. Tackled by Becker, along with Levi Martinka, and it'll be second down and 5.
A lot of times when a defense strings a play out there, you think it's a pretty good job done by the defense, but actually that was a good job done by the offensive line there. They string that play out, try to find a running lane for their running back, and just kind of maintaining the stalemate along the line of scrimmage.
Bennick motion, the handoff to Roth, the fullback, his first carry tonight, and he may have a first down. Phil Roth, senior fullback, carries out to the 43.
That's a big broken tackle right there because he gets off that initial impact. You know, he's going to be short by 3 or 4 yards in that first down. Instead, he gets close to a first down after this breaking the tackle. And he did a good job keeping his feet moving. Nearly got that first down. That makes a big difference for what the coach calls on third down.
Gain of 4, third down and less than 1. Clock running, 3:45 to go in the first half. Give to Bennick, has the first down, 45, breaks a tackle, fighting out to midfield. Gain of 7, fresh set of downs for Grace.
It's a first down for Totino-Grace.
Great execution by the offensive line up front. And you see all the guys in motion there. Bennick in motion, you know, pulling guard out in front there. Gets upfield, and you see the Swarmer defense come, but it comes long after Bennick had already picked up that first down.
First down and 10 from midfield for Totino-Grace. whistle and timeout to Totino-Grace. Their first charge timeout. Comes with 3:10 to go.
Well, interesting position for a timeout after moving the chains, getting a first down. You got to think Totino-Grace is seeing something they didn't like there on that play, so they're going to slow it down here, call timeout, get the right play called for the situation.
A fun matchup to watch so far, though, Joe, hasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, the thing about these two teams, you know, it's year in and year out. These two teams have been successful for how many years now? It's been a long time. And so it just speaks to how good the coaching is at each program. You know, a lot of people want to point to Eden Prairie and say, well, they're just gifted athletes, gifted, you know, they drop from such a big enrollment, but these kids are coached well. That's why you can plug in new players year in and year out. And Totino-Grace does it in a very different way. They don't have as many kids to work with. Everyone that shows up in that program knows how to play football, knows how to block, knows how to tackle. And these two programs are, bar none, two of the top.
1st and 10, Sowold under pressure, and down he goes back at the 42-yard line. Eric McKeeston in on the stop for Eden Prairie, and a loss of 8.
You know, just to finish my thought, year in and year out, you'll see new teams arise as some of the top teams in the state, and it's based on maybe some individual top talent. Well, Eden Prairie and Totino-Grace, they're at the top no matter who is in their program year in and year out. You don't always hear, you know, some top-end skilled player, but it's just the whole shebang, the whole roster of kids ready to play for Totino-Grace. And you see Eden Prairie making a big play there on first down for that big loss.
Bill Coop also in on him. It's 2nd down and 18. Deep in the backfield, it's Flomo breaking a tackle. 45 gets to the 50-yard line. It's back, the yardage lost on the sack, plus one more. It'll be 3rd down and 9. J.D. Spielman on the stop.
Yeah, Spielman gets up there and makes that tackle right there, and could perhaps have saved a touchdown, but at least saved a big play as he got up in there, made that tackle at the original line of scrimmage before that play turned into even a bigger one.
JD's the younger brother of Ronnie Spielman. You might know their dad, Rick Spielman, the Minnesota Vikings organization. Ronnie is not playing tonight. He's out injured. JD makes the stop there. And now Eden Prairie will use a timeout with 2:01 to go and 3rd down. And still close to 10 to go for Totino-Grace. This is the first of 2 games we've got for you in prep football this weekend on Channel 12. Our Friday night game, Northwest Suburban Conference matchup, as the Maple Grove Crimson host the Elk River Elks. Maple Grove trying to go to 3-0 on the season, and Elk River, which lost to Eden Prairie in week 1 and then lost to Centennial in week 2, coming off a good 2012 season, looking to break into the win column Friday against Maple Grove. You'll be able to see that one this weekend on Channel 12. Joe, what do you dial up here? You haven't had a lot of success with your Totino-Grace through the air, yet the situation would seem to dictate it on 3rd down and 10.
Well, you know, I would like the idea of running a screenplay too. I don't think you'd catch Eden Prairie that off guard. However, you might be able to execute it well. You know, they've been trying to zip some slants in there and just haven't been as accurate as you would like.
Panic in motion on 3rd down. The handoff will go to Flomo, and he dives forward inside the 45 to the 44. And good gain of 5 yards. We'll bring up 4th down and 5.
I think that's a smart play, actually, because you don't want to make a crucial mistake here. You kind of keep the clock running a little bit. You see if you can't pick up a first down on that run. As you can see, they tried to execute and tried to get that first down, but you come up short. Now you punt the football and try to hope that there's not enough time in the clock and your defense can make enough stops here with about a minute left.
So is also the team's punter and gets a good kick away. Driving The return man back into the end zone, then breaking out of the end zone is Spielman, and still on his feet and out across the 10-yard line to close to the 15-yard line.
Spielman living on the edge there, but nearly made a big play out of it.
Into the end zone and almost gets tackled there by Mazenga. Breaks a tackle at the goal line by Bennick and able to get out to the 15-yard line. 1st and 10 from the 15 for Eden Prairie. Minute 13 to go. They've got a timeout remaining. The give is to Fisher, and he powers his way out 4 yards to the 19. Eden Prairie's not an offense that can necessarily move up and down the field in a hurry. And at this point, for Mike Grant, you don't need to. You're inside your 20. You're up 2 touchdowns. If you break one, fine. If you don't, you're okay.
Well, and the beautiful thing about their offense is it's set up to be a conservative, nice offense with the lead, but at any moment they can block a play perfectly and break it for a touchdown. It's really kind of a perfect recipe for playing with a lead, playing conservative, yet still having the aggressiveness to always make a big play.
Officials timeout. They had reset the play clock, or wasn't where they had wanted it to be. And the clock continues to run. 25 seconds to go now.
Yeah, they basically got a free 25 seconds runoff without having to snap the football. I don't think Totino-Grace is going to mind, though. I think they want to get to halftime just as bad as the Eagles from Eden Prairie do.
There's Anderson breaking a play, like you mentioned, Joe, though not for a score, but a good run out to the 37-yard line. Pickup of 17 for Anderson here.
Yeah, Anderson gets pretty good blocking up front, but he does a lot of it on his own, though, too, just by his speed to get to the edge there and pretty good vision of finding the running room that was available in the defense.
And that play will mark the end of the first half. Eden Prairie breaking a 7-all tie at the end of one. They get all 14 points in the second quarter. And at halftime, it's Eden Prairie 21, Totino-Grace 7. We'll be back with first half highlights and more. You're watching high school football on 12 Sports.
This isn't Madison Square Garden. These drills probably won't make anyone a #1 draft pick. But these players are practicing for something important. While they work on their jump shots, they're also learning teamwork, discipline, self-confidence, how to deal with wins and losses. Skills that will make them winners long after they leave the court. Support high school activities in your community, because when kids take part, they get set for life.
Channel 12's Community Corner puts the spotlight on your corner of the northwest suburbs.
We want to talk about some things happening around the city of Maple Grove.
New Hope's rinks are officially open.
This is the spot for the Golden Valley Rotary Club.
The City Council worked really hard not to have a tax increase.
You can instantly upgrade your wardrobe with a few simple accessories.
We're in Golden Valley today doing a little recycling.
Rediscover your corner of the northwest suburbs every day on Channel 12's Community Corner.
Welcome back to Jim Totino Stadium, Jim Totino Field here in Fridley. Eden Prairie up on Totino-Grace 21-7. At the halftime break, highlights from the first half of play. After a good opening drive for Totino-Grace, it ended at no points. Eden Prairie took over the ball. They marched down the field. Run of 25 yards. Setting up the touchdown, that was Anthony Anderson. Then the pass, Ryan Connolly to Dan Fisher for 12 yards in the score. Totino-Grace is trailing 7-0. Ensuing kickoff, though, Grace gets a right back. Ben Mazinga, 99.5 yards on the kickoff return. His Flomo will give him the escort into the end zone. Extra point was good, and we are tied at 7-7. Then a healthy dose of Dan Fisher in that second quarter. for Eden Prairie, 12 rushes for 65 yards, including that touchdown run. Made it 14-7. Then a big play in the next series. Seth Sowell's pass intercepted and returned 33 yards by Matt Cheeseman for a touchdown. A two-point conversion on the extra point after they had missed on the previous try was good to make it 21-7. Here are the numbers in the first half. Eden Prairie with 140 rushing yards, 167 total yards to 96 for Totino-Grace. Many of those yards came on the opening drive of the game for Totino. 8 first downs for Eden Prairie, 5 for Totino-Grace, and the one turnover, a big one, resulting in the touchdown directly for Eden Prairie, and one penalty aside for each team. Our score at the break, Eden Prairie 21, Totino-Grace 7. We're back with the second half of play. You're watching high school football on 12 Sports.
Behind the wheel, there is no such thing as a small distraction. A public service reminder from the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons. Speak out against distracted driving at decidetodrive.org.
And now, another adventure with Savings Man.
This is great. Every day should be like this.
It will be when I retire in a few years. I've been planning and saving. Did you save for me?
Well, this is unexpected.
Where'd you come from? Out of the blue, just like an illness, an emergency, or
That's enough, Mr. Unexpected.
Savings Man.
There's still time to plan. Find out how at choose2save.org with a ballpark estimate worksheet.
I will. Thanks, Savings Man.
No, thank you.
So visit choose2save.org today.
Maple Grove, New Hope, and Brooklyn Center. Channel 12 is your local source.
Intercepted. This one looks like it could go for the touchdown.
Reed looks it away and Hopkins advances. Hello and welcome to a new season of Sports Champ.
Channel 12, your local source.
So many very excited young Totino-Grace fans on hand tonight. And the team trailing though 21-7 to get set for the start of the second half. John Jacobson and Joe Moline back as Eden Prairie up by 2 scores. Totino-Grace will kick off to start the second half.
I have a problem. Those girls are a third my age and they have way better phones than I have. They have better cell phones than I do. All right, football. I think Totino-Grace right now, I mean, it's a weird situation that they're in because they're down 2 touchdowns. I think they, obviously wish they would have put points up on the board offensively, but they didn't play that bad at football. And that's the tough thing about playing Eden Prairie. You think you played okay, but you made maybe one crucial mistake that you'd really like to take away, and that's that pick 6.
Clay and Spielman back deep. It'll be Clay that'll receive the kickoff back at the 3. Up the right sideline, spun around as he crossed the 20-yard line. It'll be first down and 10 for Eden Prairie from the 23. Eden Prairie in that first half, 167 yards of total offense, 140 on the ground. Dan Fisher, the leading rusher, 12 carries, 65 yards and a touchdown. Anthony Anderson, 7 carries, 68 yards.
Eden Prairie takes over first and 10 from the 23.
Connolly as a passer, 3 out of 4, 1 touchdown. And he brings him up to the line of scrimmage. First down and 10, first play from scrimmage to start the third quarter. Then the give is to Fisher. Nice little hole up the middle, and he gains 5 yards, Joe. Second down and 5. Darius Rogers on the stop.
Yeah, just like that, good push, 5 yards just started off the bat. This is Eden Prairie offense that averages 377 yards per game on the ground so far in their first 2 games. Very accustomed to putting up big yards on the ground.
Eden Prairie, we mentioned the week 1 win against Elk River. They beat Prairie Lake last week. Spin move by Anderson inside, only gains him a couple of yards. It'll be 3rd down and 3.
And how about what Coach Mike Grant had to say about Prairie Lake, John? I mean, he threw Prairie Lake out there as being a team that will be around come, late October, November, as a team we'll be talking about contending for a state championship.
We got more than I thought. He got 5 yards on that run, Anderson. First down of the second half for Eden Prairie. They move the sticks out to the 33. Whistle goes. Anderson got the handoff. So going to be against Eden Prairie. False start. Just a second penalty for Eden Prairie tonight. Only the 3rd penalty in the game.
You see Coach Grant on the far side of the field there asking for an explanation on that. He unfortunately, he doesn't want any time. He doesn't want 5 yards. But they had a pretty good play dial up there. It was well executed at impact, so they didn't want that one to come back.
On 1st and 15, another flag goes down. Maybe another play coming back. Anderson broke one tackle, and then he's dropped by Josh Satars at the 30. You may take the play on this one, Joe, if it's a 5-yard penalty again, because there's a gain of just 2. But we'll see. Maybe they'll back them up another 5.
And they're going to decline. You don't want to get in the habit of giving Eden Prairie too many plays. Legal shift. They're going to decline that one. Go 2nd down and long because of the nice defensive stop. You just see the motion. It's Anderson in the backfield. Just kind of got going a little bit forward. And the reason why it's not a false start and a dead ball, as if it were an offensive lineman that did that, which it would be, in the backfield, he is more of an illegal motion. He is motioning forward when the ball was snapped. Boy, another mistake here. Boy, you never see this. I don't think I've ever seen 3 flags in a row for either one of these teams, the way they execute when their starters are in.
Offside on Totino-Grace.
Oh, that's a costly mistake right there by Totino-Grace. You're pushing Eden Prairie back, and then you kind of give them a freebie of 5 yards, and certainly you don't want to get in the habit of doing that.
2nd down and 8 from the 35. Give is to Anderson. No flags. Not test. The 40 breaks the tackle to the 45 and brought down at the 46-yard line. A gain of 11. Zinga on the stop, along with Rogers, gain of 11, as I mentioned, and over 80 yards rushing now for Anderson.
Well, that's just an incredible run right there by Anderson. You know, Totino-Grace trying to make a pile at the line of scrimmage there at impact. You want to kind of make that hole invisible for the running back. He just simply goes up over the top, creates a hole.
This is Fisher. Slides forward 4 yards to the 49-yard line. So Fisher, 14 carries, 74 yards. Anderson, 10 carries, 86 yards. And it's 2nd down and 6.
2nd and 5 for Eden Prairie.
Gives to Anderson. Breaks a tackle and finally thrown down by Andy Canan at the 45-yard line. It'd be a yard shy of the 1st down. It's 3rd and 1.
You feel like Anderson's going to break one of these and get into the open field at any moment now. Totino-Grace's defense seems to be wearing down a little bit. Up front, they're getting pushed a little bit more, and then the tackling seems to be becoming a little bit more difficult right now as they continue to get fatigued and pushed down.
Give to Fisher. 3 yards to the 47 of Totino-Grace.
The brilliance of the running back styles of Fisher and the many, many other Eden Prairie running backs that have come through the program is they know what to do on a third down and short situation. Fisher just simply puts his shoulders square to the line of scrimmage, gets his head down, secures the football, and gets upfield for that first down. Nothing pretty about it, but the most effective kind of football.
Anderson deep back in the eye, gets the carry and a big hole up the middle. Anthony Anderson is going to go 47 yards for a touchdown.
Touchdown, Eden Prairie. Anthony Anderson on the carry.
And now your typical Anderson run has done mostly with just his speed. I mean, he shuffled his feet a little bit, found the hole, kind of used some patience early on in that run, and then just broke through into the backfield. And Anthony Anderson likes when Channel 12 Sports is on scene because, yeah, again, I mentioned last year, had a big game when Hopkins played against Hopkins, and looks like he's having another big one here tonight with that big run.
Cody Getz on for the extra point.
Cody Getz to attempt the extra point.
Getz with the point after, up and through, and with 7:58 to play in the third quarter. It's now 28-7. It's a 42-yard run. I think I said 47 initially. Look at it again.
Well, and just untouched as he made it to the line of scrimmage. I mean, a great hole right there, and it took a little bit of shifting, a couple of cuts to get through there as he kind of found a hole himself. See right here, it gets a nice little kickout block, and it's a cut back there at the line of scrimmage that really opened up that hole. And then, again, I mentioned it earlier, for a big guy, he can motor. Good speed right there, nobody catching him. Into the end zone he goes for a touchdown.
Now a 3-touchdown lead for Eden Prairie. And a good first drive for them, Joe. It started inside their 25. They keep it on the ground the entire time. And Anderson, the 42-yard touchdown run.
And they quickly take the sails out from under you if you're Totino-Grace. I mean, you know, you're talking just a couple of minutes ago in game clock where Eden Prairie was faced with back-to-back penalties, second down and long. Totino-Grace feeling like they had the advantage. They actually decline a penalty because they got them in second down and 12. And before you know it, Eden Prairie's in the end zone.
Walker and Mazinga, the deep men for Getz, who's kept his last two kickoffs pretty short after the kickoff return for a touchdown. And Mazinga does the same thing again here. Be fielded and fallen on at the 35 by Brendan Ogeda.
And the reason why Eden Prairie can afford to do that right now is Totino-Grace has not made Eden Prairie pay for giving them the ball to the 35-yard line. They're perfectly fine giving the ball to Totino-Grace at the 35. The offense has not shown the ability to go and march down the field the 65 yards required. So better off just give them the ball to 35 and take the ball out of their deep return man's hands.
So Wold short drop and almost intercepted, batted up in the air by Derek McKiston, but couldn't come up with it.
Sowell needs to take his eyes off his receiver. I mean, the Eden Prairie Eagles linebackers are just too good for that. You need to look away. Even if you know you're coming back to the left side, you got to get a glance to the right side, or you got to throw a pump fake in there. A pump fake would do it as well. That'd get the linebacker up in the air and really open up your wide receiver. Something's got to change there in the Totino-Grace passing game to take the linebackers off this football. Otherwise, there's going to be another pick six.
Here's Bennick out to the 40-yard line. And a tough run by Bennick out to near the 45-yard line. Lance Bennick, the junior, his sixth carry tonight, gains 9 yards. Got 31 yards rushing on the day, plus one pass reception for 15.
Well, we're going to be hearing a lot about Bennick in the coming years because he's a good-sized player and makes things happen when the ball's in his hands. Only a junior. Again, 202 pounds, can withstand the beating a defense from Eden Prairie is going to give him. And he's a guy that you're going to want to get the ball in his hands over 20 times per game. And it's going to Only a junior. You're going to see his name called quite a bit here in the next couple of years.
Mount Flomo also only a junior.
Good talent there in the backfield. And, you know, Totino-Grace in a situation here tonight where they want to stay in this football game. They want to give their team a chance to win. But they're very pleased coming to this game tonight with a 2-0 record after that nice win over Edina. And really short-handed to start the season, their first 3 games. We're going to see the real Totino-Grace team week 5 and 6 when that time period rolls around. You're going to see what the real Totino-Grace Eagles team is made of. Interesting games coming up around that time period will be the Andover, and then they finish the year against Osseo. Good test for this Eagles team.
On 3rd down and short, it's Flomo getting the first down. He's out past the 45 to the 48. You talked about Grace being shorthanded. Jeff Ferguson was very upfront about it when we visited with him in the preseason. He said we have some guys who are out the first 3 games. They violated the team rules. The kids know the rules. They broke them. They can practice with us, but they can't play the first 3 games. So he's got guys that would normally be starting that can't play tonight, will start playing next week. And then they've been hit hard by injuries, too. They've had a lot of guys go down with injuries, and combination of those two has not been kind to them tonight. And when you play a team like Eden Prairie, you want to have all your horses if you can.
Well, and you got to love a coach like Coach Ferguson, who, you know, it's very easy to take the shortcut if you're a coach and say, well, let's have them miss the first 2 games. That's a pretty steep punishment. That's 1/4 of the season. Let's get them back for that Eden Prairie game, you know, and whatever their team rules are, it required 3 games, and it didn't matter who was on the schedule week 3. They stuck to it.
2nd and 11.
Loss of 1, and a flag goes down. They've had some movement early for Grace. 5-yard penalty.
Penalty against the Eagles, neutral zone infraction. It's a loss of 5 yards.
Made 2nd down and 16. 6:09 to play here in the 3rd quarter.
You got to think Totino-Grace has a decent chance to make a run at that Northwest Suburban Conference Championship too, but without all the teams playing each other, it'll be interesting how it plays out. Andover's good, Maple Grove is good.
Bannock, the ball carrier, runs over his own blocker, and really takes a hit at the 45-yard line. Gained a couple of yards and paid for it at the end.
Yeah, it's really, I don't know why Spivak was in the backfield there where he, you know, met up with him facing the way he was facing. He should have been downfield looking for some Eden Prairie Eagles players to block, but unfortunately he was right in the hole there, and that big impact really slowed up that run.
Gain of 2, it's 3rd and 14.
3rd and 14.
That's Flomo in motion. He gets the pitch from Solo. And into Eden Prairie territory. Almost broke a long one. A pretty good run as it was. Levi Martinka with the tackle, but it's a gain down to the 43, 42-yard line of Totino-Grace. Will be just shy of the first down, gain of 13 by Flomo.
You see he gets a great block from Bennick, but he helps set up that block though too. You know, Bennick was out there, number 10, to block for him, and he had the blocker, but then he set up the the defender by kind of faking like he was going to go to the inside. That gave Bennick the angle. That allowed him to get to the outside and nearly get that first down.
4th and 1. Ty Barber in the backfield with Flomo. And Flomo moved, and the ball is fumbled on the ground.
Still a live ball. That's one of those situations where the movement was in the backfield. It's going to be a live ball, not dead ball.
Grace got it back, but they didn't get to the line of scrimmage or to the first down marker where they needed to, Joe.
Yeah, I think they're going to be about half a yard short. Eden Prairie can decline and take over the football.
Yep, penalty decline, turnover of the ball on downs.
Penalty against Totino-Grace. Prairie takes over on downs.
Well, it's a tough break all around. You know, you don't want the illegal shift, but you know, even if the legal shift's not there, they didn't execute, and they wouldn't have been able to get the first down either way. Totino-Grace just kind of shooting themselves in the foot. I mean, you got to play the perfect football game, you know, to give yourself a chance in this situation. And right now, they're just kind of making just enough mistakes to not allow themselves to kind of march on the football field and put some offensive points on the board. And the other thing that's missing is that passing game. If they could just kind of complete some passes and loosen up that Eden Prairie defense a little bit, it'd make a big difference in the running game. But when they step back to pass right now, it's you know, it's almost interception city because those linebackers have really been able to key in on where that ball's going.
Ryan Connolly under center, and first down and 10. Hands off to Dan Fisher. Dan Fisher out to near midfield before he's pushed back by a swarm of Eagles, and it's a gain of 8 though, and a second down and 2 coming.
Yeah, you can tell you Totino-Grace is a good football team though, despite being down 28-7, because in this situation, a lot of teams across the metro, you know, deep into the third quarter, are looking at a 30-40 point deficit by this time, and the reserves are coming in for Eden Prairie. So Totino-Grace hanging in there right now, and a much closer game, I would say, than the score indicates, but Eden Prairie's offense just executing to a higher percentage right now than Totino-Grace.
Second down and 2. Connolly to throw. Steps up, now will run the ball. Has the first down. Gets outside, 40-yard line of Totino-Grace, steps out at the 35. Connolly, his first carry tonight, goes for 14 yards.
Well, that's another element to the game that Eden Prairie has. If Connolly can run like that, boy, that showed some pretty good speed. And he's ran the ball a little bit this year, 57 yards total, 8.1 yards per carry, and 1 touchdown in the year. And he shows some pretty good speed and then good decision-making, too. Gets up to that line of scrimmage. Once he passes the line of scrimmage, he tucks that football, finds some grass, gets out of bounds before he takes a hit.
Give is to Anderson. Broke off a long touchdown run on his last carry. He may do it again down the right sideline. Touchdown, Eden Prairie. 35 yards for Anthony Anderson. Went for 42 last time, 35 this time, and it's 34-7 Eden Prairie.
Anthony Anderson, just the right combination of patience and then a speed burst. Just kind of being patient there out along the outside, and then once that hole was there, he hit it hard and he hit it with some speed, and nobody from Totino-Grace was going to catch him.
Cody gets to attempt the extra point.
Gets for the point after. His kick is up and it's through, and it's 35-7 with 3:07 left in the third quarter.
Just great blocking downfield. You just see, you know, multiple Totino-Grace defenders hit the deck there as Anderson comes running by, and that was just them being pushed backwards and then grasping at air as he runs by him. Just look at the great blocking at impact. Nice block downfield. Everybody across the offensive line for Eden Prairie. You know, I think this is why Coach Grant said this might be one of his best football teams. He's got a great defense. Haven't given up any points here tonight to Totino-Grace, but it's an offensive line that's not huge, but you can see how athletic they are out along the outside. Sam Newman downfield getting a good block. Stordahl was out there getting a good block. And then Eric Dunn, the big offensive tackle, 77 at 275 pounds, was downfield getting a block.
You know, Mike Grant, we saw him shortly after his team had gotten off their 90-minute bus ride for Eden Prairie. He's like, you know, well, let's start. We'll play in half an hour. And he shortened up his warm-up, says, I think the prep bowl. You know, let's kick off at 7:10. It's kind of unflappable. It's like Jeff Ferguson in a way. So they don't seem to be fazed by too much, and maybe that has a lot to do with their success.
Yeah, well, I think the success might lead to the.
Well, maybe that's true.
Does that maybe calm me down, or is it the, you know, these guys have this thing down to a T? I mean, that's the most incredible thing is, you know, just these Thursday night games, Friday night games for them. It's like they've been through it so many times. Their players have the repetition down. They have the repetition down. They have such great coaching staffs. And I'll say this. you know, winning breeds more kids and excitement into your program, and that's why these players are better. It's because of all the hard work these two coaches have done earlier in their careers to create that winning atmosphere. But what it also does for you is look how many volunteer coaches and coaches these guys have on their coaching staff, and they come out and they want to coach hard and they want to be a part of the program. And that's what winning does too. You don't see teams that, you know, are struggling and, you know, playing sub 500 football have this many coaches willing to jump in there, volunteer their time, and coach these kids up.
Eden Prairie is offside on their kickoff. Another line drive kick. This will be fielded back at the 15-yard line. Mazinga out across the 30, gets to the 33-yard line. First down and 10 for Totino-Grace. 3 minutes to play here in the third quarter.
First and 10 for the Eagles from their
If you're Totino-Grace, you'd like to put something together here before the reserves for Eden Prairie come in. You know that that's probably going to happen, the score being what it is in the fourth quarter. So you want to see if you can't still continue to execute and play against this top-notch first-team defense.
Pitch goes to Flomo, 35, 40-yard line, and a good first down run. Out to the 44, close to a first down.
That's been probably the most successful play in the playbook tonight for Totino-Grace. They've been able to pick up a first down on that run right there, a gain of 10, and when they run that sweep, they've been able to get their athletic offensive linemen out along the edge, and they're doing a pretty good job of letting the defense string that play out, keep it kind of neutral at the line of scrimmage, and then Flomo comes through and hits that hole hard and picks up a nice gain.
57 yards for Kez Flomo on 14 carries.
He's worked hard for that 57.
Bennick in motion. Silwald throwing off the hands of Flomo at midfield and incomplete.
Yeah, it's just the inexperience of the quarterback position. That's why when you see a quarterback like who we saw last week when the Benil game,
Peyton Studsrud.
Studsrud, yeah. He made every throw in the book. He could fire it in there. He could put some touch on it. That ball just required a little bit more touch. And right now, Selwood will figure that out as the season goes on, but he just didn't have it on that play.
Give us to Bennick on the inside handoff. Out to the 49-yard line, and that hole closed. Matt Cheeseman on the tackle. Gain of 4. It'll be third down and 6.
Great kick-out block along the outside there. You saw Mike Mitchell-Webb, junior offensive tackle for Totino-Grace, gets a great block out there on the defensive end of Eden Prairie on that kick-out.
3rd and 5 for the Eagles.
On third down, Solo flushed out right, and he'll be strung up and run out of bounds back at the 45-yard line, a loss of 3. Well defensed by Eden Prairie.
Well, he felt the pressure coming. Eden Prairie brought a blitz up the middle, and his offensive line actually did a pretty good job of picking it up, but I think he wasn't sure of the situation, so he kind of bailed early, was going to see what he could make happen with his feet. His offensive line did a pretty good job of actually picking up that pressure, but give Eden Prairie credit for dialing it up.
Sewell staying in to punt. It's the quick kick away. Good kick. Driving Spielman back to the 9-yard line. 15. 20. Comes back to his right. Still on his feet. And then down at the 20-yard lines where he ends up. And first down for Eden Prairie's offense. With a minute 20 to go. Ran about 50 yards to get 11 here.
He doesn't get that many touches. He plays a lot of defense, so he's gonna try to stay on his feet as long as possible. That's why he's not a running back for Eden Prairie, because you're supposed to just plug it up in the hole if you're a running back.
First and 10 for the Eagles.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if Anderson gets the ball a few more times here, because he's been pretty magical in this second half.
Connolly and the first team offense back out on the field for Eden Prairie. They're still in the third quarters. Fisher gets the handoff on first down. Left side for 3 to the 23-yard line. Second down and 7. "38 plays from scrimmage, Joe, for Eden Prairie tonight. Not a ton. 34 have been on the ground. 4 passes.
And out of those plays, that easily 90% of them for good, positive yards.
Out of the eye on 2nd and 7. The give is to Anderson. Breaks a tackle and is out past the 30 to the 34 and has an Eden Prairie first down. Gain of 11.
Once again, Anderson just, every time he gets the ball in his hands in the second half, he's been, 1 or 2 tackles away from breaking it if he doesn't break it. And he gets to an arm tackle at the line of scrimmage, nice little spin move, all while moving north and south. Then drags about 3 defenders with him for that first down. Just a very powerful runner.
Should be the final play of the quarter. The give is to Fisher. And then he gets forward 3 more yards out to the 38. And that will be the end of the third quarter. Our score after 3, Eden Prairie tacked on 2 more scores. They lead Totino-Grace 35-7. We're back with the fourth quarter from Jim Totino Field after this timeout.
Maple Grove, New Hope, and Brooklyn Center. Channel 12 is your local source.
Intercepted. This one looks like it could go for the touchdown.
Reed looks it away and Hopkins advances. Hello and welcome to a new season of Sports Champ.
Channel 12, your local source.
John Jacobson, Joe Moline, back for the fourth quarter. Eden Prairie #1 in Class 6A. Totino-Grace #5. Totino tying it in the first quarter. It was a 7-7 game after 1, but it has been all red, black, and white since then. Connolly on the rollout. Keeper first down across midfield. Slides down at the Totino-Grace 45-yard line. A pickup of 20 for the senior quarterback.
And just a good decision, because when he rolls out to his left here, he's got a receiver open, Dan Fisher, out of the backfield, his fullback, but then he also knows Fisher's got someone near him, so Fisher can instead be the blocker for him, which he does, and gets that block downfield on Barber and gets upfield, gets a first down, and slides, doesn't take a hit. Again, it's another element to the Eden Prairie offense. If he's able to run the football like that and make good decisions, boy, another element to the offense difficult for the opponents to stop.
Unofficially, Eden Prairie now with 312 yards rushing. First and 10 from the Grace 45. Give it to Anderson up the middle. Another big run for Anderson. He's inside the 35 to the 34. Gain of 11.
Yeah, it just feels like the holes have gotten bigger and bigger as this game has gone on. And, you got to give that offensive line credit, but look at the fullback, Fisher, again. He gets a monstrous block there. Great kick out on the defensive end. And Anderson just runs up the middle and just kind of shrugging players off. I mean, the offensive line is winning the majority of the battles up front. He's got a great lead blocker in Fisher and just making it happen north and south.
First and 10 from the Grace 34. Give to Fisher. And a crisp 5 yards on first down. And Fisher had 1 run tonight of 17 yards, but you look at his play chart, 6 yards, 3 yards, 5 yards, 4 yards, 3 yards, 5 yards. Always positive. Not a lot usually, but he's a good solid runner between the tackles.
He's a captain on this team, and he's the type of player that it seems like every Eden Prairie championship team has a Fisher. You know what I mean? You look and they have that guy that just, he picks up those dirty 5 yards, dirty 6 yards, dirty 2, dirty 3, whatever they need, he gets. And on top of that, he's one of the best blockers on the team.
2nd down and 5. Flag is down. Delay of game.
Delay of game against the Eagles. It's a 5-yard penalty.
So they're back to the 35. 2nd down and 10. Eden Prairie next week will be at home. They'll take on Edina in a late conference game before traveling to Minnetonka in 2 weeks. And for Totino-Grace, back into the Northwest Suburban Conference or at Park Center next week, and then we'll host Elk River in 2 weeks. And the Northwest Suburban Conference split into 2 divisions for football. Totino-Grace with certainly a chance, along I would guess with Osseo perhaps to win that East Division. Play action fake. Connolly throwing a strike and incomplete. His intended receiver knocked down over the middle. It was Hubby, the big tight end. It'll be 3rd and 10.
Yeah, Hovey's a big target, and they'd like to use him. Just haven't had too much, but that time when he slipped into the linebacking tier, he was pretty well surrounded. But with Eden Prairie in their passing game, when they're trying to really sell that run, they don't send a lot of receivers out as targets. So there's really nobody else to go to. He tried to fit one in there. It was a tight squeeze.
Play action. Connolly rolling. Now we'll flip it up toward Hovey toward the end zone and incomplete. A nice air underneath that throw, and how he get turned around a little bit at the goal line. Couldn't come up with Alex Halverson defending for Totino-Grace, and it's 4th and 10.
Yeah, that was the right throw. I mean, he's rolling to his left here, and he's got to get away from the pressure early on. He's getting chased down a little bit, clears the pressure, and then lofts it, puts some air under it, knows that if he gets it up there, his big man can try to go make a play on the football, but just a little bit too much air. But the right football play, the right kind of throw on that ball.
So 4th down and 10 for Eden Prairie after a penalty and 2 incompletions.
Some kind of either blood or equipment timeout there. They had to send a player out from Totino-Grace to bring a new defensive lineman in.
4th and 10. Fisher the lone back. 3 receivers to the right for Connolly. He's looking that way, rolling that way, fires that way, and has a first down. Down at the 20-yard line. Gamiel Hall with the catch. Hall came in 2 receptions for 92 yards and 2 touchdowns on the year. It's not a touchdown here, but a first down that keeps the chains moving in a gain of 13 yards.
Oh, he wasn't even covered either. He probably, if he would have realized, he could have maybe turned that upfield and got his third touchdown. But big first down reception nonetheless. When he touches the ball, good things happen.
.9:44 to go here in the 4th quarter. Pitch going back left side, an open hole for Gleiger. Turning that corner, reaching for the pylon, and he stopped just short of the end zone. It'll be a pickup of 21 and a 1st and goal from the 1.
He just gets such a good block here from Sam Newman. Number 63 just opens up a monstrous hole. They get the kick out and the good seal on the off tackle. Just a monstrous hole there, leading to a big run once again for this Eden Prairie offense.
Hand off inside to the end zone. Touchdown. Mark Hodges, senior running back, in for the score.
Nothing new, just a bunch of block down, block down, block down on that right side. Continue to push down. Whoever's in your A gap, you just block down. Whoever crosses your face, and then you just win that battle, and that just creates enough space to plunge it into the end zone. Simple football, but when you do it that well, it's beautiful.
Yates' extra point is up and through. And that makes it a 42-7 game with 9:31 to play. Touchdown run for Hodges. His second carry of the season. He goes for a touchdown. And now Joe Moline with a 35-point margin will have running time.
And, you know, Totino-Grace has probably been put in running time one other time, and it was probably, 2 years ago against Eden Prairie, right. I assume. I mean, they don't get put in this position very much.
Or ever, really.
Yeah, and this is the thing where they say, okay, we're one of the best football teams in the state, but this is what it means to play in 6A, you know, and it's an interesting dilemma. I'm sure that Totino-Grace fights with that decision all the time, whether there's still great football teams in 4A and 5A. That would be great challenges for Totino-Grace, but they want the ultimate challenge, and the ultimate challenge means playing against a team like they're facing here tonight. And tonight, that just means they're down by 35 points. You know, I was thinking about the long drive that Eden Prairie had here in traffic. If they just let their offensive line get out there on the freeway, they could have opened up some holes. They could have made it here a lot quicker.
Getz goes a little deeper with this kick. This is Mazinga, had the touchdown return. Oh, and he really took a hit as he came across the 25-yard line out to the 28. Big tackle laid on by Brody Scholl. That was a nice special teams tackle by the young man.
Yeah, I think Mazinga had a big return on his mind again, and you know, he's almost at full speed right here. And then, that is a big hit right there. Mazinga probably wishes they would have kicked that one short again.
1st and 10 from the 28 for Grace. Give us to Flomo. Ball is out. And Eden Prairie, looks like they got it. Yes, they did. Fumble recovery by Evan Banks. Excuse me, not 17-47. That's Jake Halverson with the recovery.
The ball pops out pretty early here. Right after the exchange was never finalized. Flomo never really got a good handle on it.
New quarterback for Eden Prairie, Grantham Gillard. Ball start and Eden Prairie. Grantham Gillard, if I'm not mistaken, played basketball at Maranatha Christian Academy a couple of years ago. They were a co-op with Osseo for football. I had a brother that played Garrison, that was their quarterback at Osseo.
Yep. We saw Garrison play quite a bit last year. They look very similar. That's why, you know, the last name fits, and boy, they look like the exact same player.
1st down and 15. Gillard handing off. Yeah, short gain inside the 30-yard line. Von Quaison with a carry. Quaison picks up 1. Don't make that Matt Liebold on the carry. They had duplicate 34s. Second down. Still 14 yards to go. Gillard will pitch it back. This is Cedric Clark trying to turn the corner. It's down to the 26-yard line. It'll be third down and 10 to go.
Yeah, another thing that really helps repeat the Eden Prairie success each year in, year out, and it's the same way for teams like Wayzata and Totino-Grace, is a lot of times they have games in hand in the fourth quarter, and their reserves really get a lot of playing time on, on Friday nights, not just at their JV games and sophomore games, but the backups always see the field quite a bit, and that does a couple of things. It really gets you out there to that live exposure under the lights, but it helps coaches evaluate players and gives players just more playing time, and it gets them excited. And that's a big part of staying with it from a football program, is just staying excited, staying engaged throughout the week. As things get kind of longer and drag on through the season, having a group of second stringers that are engaged and want to get better each week is really key to a football program's success.
Gain of a couple for Liebold to bring up fourth down and 8. Clock running with 6 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter in the ball game. Eden Prairie will move to 3-0. Grace to 2-1. Back into conference play for each team next week. It'll be the first conference game of the season for Eden Prairie. Gillard throwing. Gets the completion. Andre Wallace. Gain of a couple, but stopped short of the first down. And Michael Waters on the tackle, and Grace offense back on the field as they take over on downs.
Good tackle in the open field right there. Anytime you're out there on an island, it can be a pretty difficult place to be from a defensive back standpoint. He did a good job of kind of securing that tackle and making the stop.
First down run, Flomo, the ball carrier for Totino-Grace. Gain out past the 25 to the 28, pickup of 5.
That's that sweep play again that I thought is the one play that Totino-Grace has been able to dial up quite a bit here in this game and executed pretty well for positive yards. They're doing a good job with that sweep play to both sides of the football field.
On second down and 6. And a first down run out across the 35-yard line to the 36. Philip Roth on the carry, picks up 5.
And this time they put Bennick in motion and hand the ball off to Roth, who gets the ball up the middle and for positive yards and gets that first down.
8 first downs for Totino-Grace on offense tonight, Joe. 4 came on that opening drive of the game.
Yeah, I mean, they came out and they were ready to play some football tonight. They executed well. It's like Eden Prairie saw that opening drive and they really reacted well defensively and really changed their game plan. I think
Bennick on the carry here.
One of the adjustments Eden Prairie made, and they'll make this in almost any game, is their linebackers just got more engaged and kind of on their toes and up near the line of scrimmage. They really started penetrating a lot more defensively as a unit, especially the 7 up front. And Totino-Grace never had that play downfield, that passing play that you have to kind of loosen up the Eden Prairie defense. That's the only way to get them back a little bit. And they've been able to execute pretty well off tackle, but you want to try to see if you can't get something down the field a little bit to loosen up those backers.
Second down and 1. They give us to Roth. And he's got a first down out to midfield.
The type of people that like watching these two teams play football are the guys kind of might be a little bit more boring in some senses compared to all the throwing of the football we see now today, but it's the appreciation for that the front five or front six getting off the ball as a unit and fulfilling their blocking schemes. Both these teams just do it so well.
Big hole up the middle and a gain of 9 yards. Down to the 41-yard line. Awaje on the carry.
Great example right here. Look at the Totino-Grace, how they all turn Eden Prairie outside there. You saw 4 Eden Prairie Eagles in the backfield, but it was all by design. Totino-Grace kind of opened up their hips, pushed them to the outside, and that created that big hole. Let the defenders' legs take them where they want to go, but push them, making that hole.
Chuck Pollock is now the quarterback, and a huge hole up the middle. Andrew Metz down to the 30-yard line, picks up 11 yards. First carry tonight for Metz.
Well, inside trap play there by Totino-Grace, running left tackle, and nice pickup for the Eagles. They continue to march down the field. This is almost to where they got in that opening drive of the game. Obviously different circumstances right now.
Pollock will hand off. John Wade trying to get outside, is run down from behind. Jake Halverson on the tackle for Eden Prairie. Quarterback's Carter Coughlin, it may be, actually the backup linebacker, also wears 47.
Yeah, Coughlin did just a great job getting off that block, and then kind of chasing down the backside. Excellent play by the sophomore linebacker, getting some quality playing time. And if you're a sophomore in this situation, this is huge for you.
Carter Coughlin's dad Bob played at Osseo, was an outstanding football player, went to the University of Minnesota. And one of his high school coaches, Dan Green, now on the coaching staff at Eden Prairie. And Coughlin made that tackle a play ago. And run here for Metz, picks up 5.
Well, Coach Green's a great example of someone who, you know, in those retirement years, has so many years of coaching experience under his belt and then gets called out to kind of come out and help out a little bit. And he's pleased to do it because it's probably fun for him to come out here, coach amongst great coaches and players that are eager to learn.
A little movement there. Pollock on the keeper. Hits to the near sideline before he's banged out. Flag was down. He'll shift on the offense.
A few too many people moving there for Totino-Grace.
Clock is stopped for a moment while they sort this out. And take the penalty, move Totino-Grace back to the 31. Third down and 11. Give us to Roth inside the 30, gets down to the 26-yard line. Gain of 6, it'll be 4th down. Another flag down. No, they're going to pick it up. No, they're going to tack it on. It's a face mask, a 5-yard face mask penalty against Eden Prairie.
That's enough to give them a first down, and Totino-Grace here will take, let's try to make the score more respectable in the newspaper tomorrow. That's sometimes what it comes down to right now, and see if they can take a few shots in the end zone perhaps. I think they'll probably keep the ball on the ground, but.
Down to 30 seconds to go in the game. Follow up the inside handoff. And spinning down towards the 10-yard line, the one, Jane. But that should be the final play of the game, and after that's a gain of 10. And Eden Prairie comes in here, and after perhaps a brief scare in the first quarter, they roll, and they win it, Joe, 42-7.
Yeah, it looked like it had the opportunity to be a much more competitive football game. Totino-Grace maybe brought their best stuff early, and then they trailed off. The difference was Eden Prairie kind of stepped up a little bit more and had that consistent approach throughout the ball game, and that's, you're looking at a two-time state champion in Eden Prairie, and not too many teams are able to accomplish a three-peat at the highest level. I mean, sometimes you'll see it at the 9-man Class A, stuff like that, but at the highest level, it's really difficult to do. And you can see what Eden Prairie has put themselves in position to do with the kind of football team they have here. And Totino-Grace, it's going to be interesting what Totino-Grace looks like a few weeks from now.
Yeah, we talked so much about their rushing attack, Joe, tonight, and Fisher and Anderson, and they accomplished a lot, over 300 yards rushing as a team. We didn't give a big shout out necessarily to that defense. That defense is pretty good.
I think the defense is what you don't really notice because you're just talking about the offense putting up the points, but it's the defense that shut down a Totino-Grace offense that might not be the Totino-Grace offenses of the past, but it's a Totino-Grace offense nonetheless that put up 7 points a quarter last week against Edina. Each quarter they scored a touchdown, winning 28-7. So it's a good Totino-Grace offense, again, that I think will put up plenty of points as the season progresses.
Well, that'll do it for our telecast tonight from Fridley, for all of our crew, and for Joe Moline, I'm John Jacobson. Thanks for tuning in. Our coverage of high school football tonight. Eden Prairie wins this matchup of Class 6A ranked teams 42-7. The Eden Prairie Eagles win it. And good night from Jim Totino Field, and thanks for tuning in.